Hey there, happy days, happy weeks, happy months to my Stop Doing Nothing fans. This is Patrick Allmond from StopDoingNothing.com, and thank you for tuning in for this week's show and podcast. Just a quick reminder for those of you that are watching on video, this is also available over as a weekly podcast over there. Just hop over into iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and search for Stop Doing Nothing. You'll find it there. And for those of you that are listening on podcasts, there's also a video series on YouTube. I do them simultaneously, side by side, whatever you want to call it, just to make sure that you guys get the information you need to make yourselves better individuals, better business owners, better spouses, better fathers, better mothers, and better whatever your role is in life. We've gotten some really good feedback on the recent episodes, so I would encourage you to go like and listen to some of the previous episodes. Some of the topics we covered, my most popular topic, to tell you the truth, was about 4 or 5 episodes ago. I did one on the power of obsession and how to become obsessed about something, and I'm getting a ton of hits on that episode from Google. Also some other episodes about how I started my business, the steps you need to take. Maybe some hard love in one of the episodes about maybe you need to get some better friends. That one was halfway popular also. So just go back and listen to those. But like I said, the most popular one recently was the one on how to be obsessed. So you'll probably see me do another one on that recently. And as always, we are growing and developing things for you here at Stop Doing Nothing. You can't see it from the front, but I'm wearing another one of these Stop Doing Nothing t-shirts, and that's just about all I wear nowadays. These things are really good. We have a couple of batches out in XXL and XL. And the new ones, this is one of the first generation ones. The newer ones actually say StopDoingNothing.com right here. And then what you can't see, actually I'll turn around a little bit so you can see here a little bit. It says Stop Doing Nothing right there. I don't know what the video camera's doing, but Stop Doing Nothing. And then one of the phrases that we live by there on the bottom. So we are producing these now. The first batch ran in various colors. The next batch is running in just red and black because those are the most popular colors, plus the stenciling on the back stands out the best on those. So if you want one of those, head over to StopDoingNothing.com and go right at the top there. There's a place that says get a shirt, and you can order it right there. This week, we are going to be talking about self-talk and the lies we tell ourselves. Sometimes our biggest fears in life, or should I say the biggest things that hold us back, are not what people say to us. People can be cruel, people can be mean, people can be hateful, and so they'll say things sometimes that really kind of drive us in the ground and make us depressed and kill our attitude and kill our mojo. A lot of that stuff can come from external sources, but oftentimes the biggest challenge and the biggest person that is going against us and is filling us with head trash is ourselves. There's no person that has more impact on what you do in life or how you feel or your minute-by-minute state or your energy level when you wake up in the morning as the person that you see in the mirror right there. So, oftentimes, like I said, there are people outside of our brain that kind of get in and screw us over, but we can't control them. I mean, we can ignore them, we can unfriend them, we can do whatever we can do to block them, but we really can't control them. The only person that we have 100% control over is ourselves. And so what I did today is I came up with a list of self-talk items that we often say to ourselves, in my opinion, just are not true, or they're not true 100% of the time. I'll put it to you that way. I have a very hard time saying something is right or wrong, because to me life is a bunch of gray areas, and it's just kind of where you choose to live in the gray area. So these items we're going to cover today that we're going to talk about are the self-talk items, or in my opinion, the lies we tell ourselves. And I want you to take a deep personal inventory as I talk about these, because these affect a lot of people. When I talk to people and I try to learn what goes on in their head and their mind, and try to figure out what is holding them back, it's surprising how many of these, and they're all a little sticky note right here for you, it's surprising how many of these come up every time. And these are the ones, I kind of picked for myself, but the ones I have for myself that we're going to talk about today are the ones that are very common between other people. So let's run through these real quick. The first one is the fact that there is a tomorrow. I don't have to tell you that, life comes and goes pretty fast. Right now, for example, down in Haiti and the Florida area, they are having a massive, I think it's Hurricane Matthew, that is just, destroying property, destroying lives, and it's kind of breaking my heart. And I've got some friends down there I'm keeping some close tabs on. But all it takes is a big, for those people in Haiti, all it takes is a big a big hurricane like Matthew to come along and destroy lives. I think they were up to like 200 or 300 people killed so far, and that is really heartbreaking. But my point with that is that life can be gone any moment. You know, we are an industrialized country now, as you know, a lot of countries are, and we've got big machinery, and we've got cars, and we've got buses, and we've got airplanes, and you know, for example, for an airplane, there's no walking away from an airplane accident. So all it takes is a simple mechanical failure to remove us from this planet, and that scares me a little bit every day. But what it does, though, is remind me that there is no tomorrow. So when I'm thinking about what I want to get done in life, and one of the things I have to keep pushing out of my mind, and I would encourage you to also, is the fact that, you know, oh, I can get that done tomorrow, or that's my goal for next year, or I'm going to work on this big thing, and then I will eventually get to that other thing. And you have to live with the mindset that, you know what, there is no tomorrow. When it comes to your happiness and the person you spend the time with and the love you give to the world, there will be no tomorrow. So you really got to stop holding back on thinking that you can do something in the future. If it's really important, put that thing at the very top of your priority list, and quit wasting time, quit dragging your feet, quit waiting for the day. I'm going to do this someday. This is going to happen to me someday. No, that someday needs to be now. So quit dragging your thinking about there's a tomorrow, because you need to act like there isn't tomorrow. This is one that really hits a lot of us that have run our own business or even run our own households, is I can do it all. If you've tried to run a household, if you're one of those lucky people that is single and has a tiny house and no major expenses and no kids, well, congratulations. You are very much, in the minority. Most of us have a business, a job, if not multiple jobs or multiple businesses. We are running a house with kids in it. We have animals, we have spouses, we have stuff to clean, we have groceries to buy, we have laundry to do, we have marketing to do, we have sales to do, we have accounting to do, we have bookkeeping, and I can just go on and on and on about the number of things that have to be managed in a business. And one of the things I've learned over my 4 decades is the fact that you really cannot do it all. It's not realistic. You cannot have it all, you cannot do it all. That's like the phrase multitasking. There's no such thing as multitasking, and there is no such thing as doing it all. You cannot do it all. If you try to, you will kill yourself. And also you need to realize that you shouldn't do it all. Not only can you not do it all, you shouldn't do it all, because you know why? Because you suck at most of it. You suck at most of those things that are on your list that you try to get out every day. You know what I suck at? I suck at bookkeeping. I suck at accounting. I suck at doing my taxes. I suck at micromanaging. I suck at detailed task management. And I could go on and on about the number of things that I suck at and I should not be doing. And that took me a long time to learn in my business, is to let go and hand things off to people that are better at certain tasks than I am. So that's something that you should try also. And even in your personal life, I used to think that if I had someone that mowed my lawn, and if I had someone that cooked for me, if I had someone that bought my groceries, and if I had someone that cleaned my house, I used to think those were very snobby, uppity, elitist behaviors. And now every single time I think about one of those things, I think, wow, I need to really get on that, because that's me buying my time back. I'm not buying, I don't have a person that mows my lawn because I'm elitist. I have a person that mows my lawn because they are, number one, better at it than I am. They want to do it and I don't. They want to get paid for work and I'm gainfully employing somebody. But also, I'm really not that great at it. And, I can buy my time while someone's mowing my lawn doing what they do well. I can be working on my business or working on my marriage or working on being a better father. And you can't see it, but on my kitchen counter at home, we got a brochure the other day about hiring a housekeeper. And I've saved that brochure because I'm going to call that company and see what it takes to have that start happening. Because you know what? If that person can come in and save me 4 or 5 hours every single week of mopping and cleaning and dusting and doing this and doing that, doing all the superfluous stuff that it takes to manage my house, that's 4 or 5 hours back of my life. And I will gladly pay a handsome price for someone to do that. Same thing goes with working on your car. Most people don't work on their cars because they suck at it. You could do it, but don't do it. So try to get rid of the tasks that you're not good at and really focus on the 3 or 4 core things that, one, bring the most joy to your life, bring the most revenue to your business, and that are just things that you should be working on versus things that you can be working on. Okay, that was number 2. Number 3, thinking that you are not good enough for certain things. This segues a little bit from number 2, thinking that, you're not making enough money to have a housekeeper, or you're not doing well enough to have someone to mow your lawn, or to cook your food, or to buy your groceries, or thinking you're not well enough to be, or good enough to be in a relationship, or thinking that you're not good enough to be, to run your own business, or there's just a whole litany of things that people talk themselves into thinking they're not good enough for. Success is for the other person. Being a millionaire or a billionaire, that's for the other guy. That's not for me. And I honestly don't know why people have this self-talk. This comes, I think, in the realm of self-doubt, in the psychology of self-doubt, which, I'm not an expert at. But thinking you're not good enough is one of those things that I think a lot of people run through. But what we have to do also, at least one of the things that solves it for me when I think about not being good enough, is I think about some of the people that I see that are successful, that have the success and the things that I want, and I look at their history, and oftentimes, they started from poor beginnings, and they started from an area of self-doubt and not thinking that they're really good enough to achieve greatness and do amazing things with their life. Not being good enough is really, it really shouldn't hold you back. I mean, you can have some self-doubt, that's okay. If you didn't have self-doubt, you wouldn't be human. But to actually think that you can't get good enough, that's you just lying to yourself right there. If you're not good enough at something, if you're not good enough at sales, then work on that. Nobody comes out of the womb being a great salesman. No one starts their business or becomes an entrepreneur by being a great salesman, or by being a great marketer, or copywriter, or person that makes videos, or podcaster. But another thing is, one of my key phrases is that done is better than perfect. And so if you don't think you're good enough at something, you know what? Don't fret over it too much. Find somebody who is a little bit better than you are. Maybe they have a YouTube channel, maybe they have a podcast, and start learning. The quickest solution for not being good enough for something, or not being smart enough for something, to tell you the truth, that's our second one, so we can segue into that one pretty easily, is the fact that, okay, I know I'm not good enough for this. I know I'm not smart enough for this. How do I fix that now? If I'm not smart enough to be a good videographer, how do I fix that? If I'm not smart enough to be an entrepreneur, I know I have a thing I want to sell. I want to open up my own flower shop. I want to open up my own car repair business. I want to become a kick-ass realtor. If I'm not good enough right now, how can I get good enough? And that's where nonstop education comes into place. Every single piece of human knowledge is documented someplace. You can watch it on a video. You can download a web page. You can get it on a podcast. You can get it on a book. Anything that takes for you to be coming from being not smart enough or not good enough can be fixed by educating yourself. So become very good at educating yourself. Become good at getting mentors. Become good at getting coaches. Become good at learning. That's one of the biggest mistakes, in my opinion, and one of the biggest skills that we make as human beings is we don't become good at learning. Become a kick-ass learner. Become a kick-ass listener. Go to more conferences. Network more. Hang out with people that are doing the kick-ass crap that you want to do. They will bring you up to their level. That old adage of, your 5 closest friends, you'll be like your 5 closest friends. I swear that is true. I learn that every single day. So 3 and 4, 3 was I'm not good enough, okay? And 4 was I'm not smart enough. You can solve both of those. I'll call those the ignorance challenges. You can solve both of those by educating yourself. And the last one is one that has really hit home a lot recently for me as I kind of evaluate my life and those around me, is that somebody else, the lie, the fifth lie, I guess I'll say, is that somebody else is going to fix my problems. And that something external to me is going to make me happy. And this is a huge lie. And I see this a lot with people that may be dependent on the government or another employer or a spouse or somebody else in their world to make them happy. And happiness comes from inside you. I hopefully it doesn't sound like a cliche, but you cannot sit around and wait for somebody else to do something for you. Nobody else is going to come up to you and say, hey, let's start a business together. They may, but for the most part, that's not going to happen. Nobody else is going to come up to you and say, hey, let's go get fit. Hey, let's go get healthy. Hey, let's go to the gym. Hey, let's start a business. Hey, let's give you a raise. The people that are accomplishing amazing things, your idols, the people you worship and that you love, very rarely are just sitting around waiting for someone to do something for them. In my opinion, when you want to accomplish great things, you have to be aggressively ambitious. Being ambitious is just sitting around thinking, wow, I should do this. I can really do this. This is great. Being aggressively ambitious, in my opinion, is taking the day-to-day action that you need to fulfill those dreams, those wants. And the only place, the only driving factor that you have 100% control of is your brain. It's you. You are the only one that's going to kick your own ass into getting up early, getting to the gym, exercising your butt off, and starting your kick-ass day. Nobody else can do it for you. A coach can't do it. A mentor can't do it. I mean, I do coach and mentor quite a few people, and I can offer all kinds of advice and mentally kick you in the butt. But at the end of the day, you are going to be the one that has to take the action, lift yourself up by your own bootstraps, and get the shit done that needs to be done. So, really quick as a recap to cover these again, remember there is no tomorrow. You need to take the action today. Stop believing you can do it all, because you cannot do it all. I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough. Those were number 3 and 4. And those are coming from an ignorant mindset, in my opinion. And you can fix both those by just educating yourself better. And somebody else will fix your problems. In my opinion, my friends, those are the 5 big lies that we tell ourselves. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're listening on the podcast, do me a favor and go over and get on the email list at stopdoingnothing.com. But if you're the kind of person who is not by a computer, you can text SDN to 405-251-2022, and I will get you on the email list. Text SDN for Stop Doing Nothing. Text that to 405-251-2022, and we will get you rolling. By the way, if you ever have questions for this show, because those are the best kind of questions I get, you can also text those at any time to 405-251-2022. Subscribe on the email, subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I swear I'll kind of kick your ass a little bit every single day, and I will make you a better person. And as always, don't forget to go back and subscribe on YouTube and watch the previous videos, especially that one on the power of obsessions, which has been our insanely most popular video. And to tell you the truth, even in Google searches, we are at the top of Google searches when it comes to how to become obsessed on a particular topic. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I love every single one of you. I will see you online and in the real world. Until next time, take care. This has been Patrick Allmond from StopDoingNothing.com.